Oh my God. Hey guys. I oh my God, I really do look like the creature from the Black Lagoon right now. I was cleaning my house and had the epiphany of going over cleansing techniques with the group. Because I felt like it was going to be necessary, especially since this Sunday we're going to be going over protection and boundaries with Mandy and Marvin. And I felt like this was a good idea to do because it's you want to cleanse your house before you actually put up protection or boundaries. Because if you don't, then you would just end up trapping an energy in your house and it has nowhere else to go. Nothing else can come in, but the negative energy has nowhere else to go. So cleansing is like a good idea to just kick it out or clear your energy or even clear your head. So I wanted to go over some cleansing techniques and like list alternate ones for people because I noticed that most people are like, oh, I have to sage or I have to use Palo Santo. There's more than that. Trust me, guys. There's way more different types of techniques to do other than using sage or Palo Santo to clear your house of energy. So we were going to go over that today. Well, I will review that with you today of certain things that I have picked up along the way and different techniques that have worked. So for starters, we'll just go with like the known one, which is the sage and the Palo Santo. Those are the most common used ways to like cleanse a house. Is people get like their little Palo Santo stick and then they light it and then they're like, okay, I cleansed the room, and you're like, child. So I wanted to share some things because I noticed that there's some inconsistencies. If you are going to use sage or Palo Santo or even incense to clear a room, those are the three things. Make sure that you have all the windows open, all the doors open. You have to do this. If you have animals, I know that's going to be a pain in the butt. Make sure you've got the screen doors going and the screen windows, like the screen over your windows going, because that's how you have to do it. And when you do cleanse the room, you actually want to go from like all around the room, and then you actually want to go to the window and you want to close it off. And when I say close it off, it's not like you physically close the window, but what you would do is you would actually like let the smoke travel. Some people use the feather technique, which is great. If you do, please make sure that the feather is from an animal that's still alive. If you use one off of a dead animal, it doesn't work. It doesn't work as well. It doesn't work, period, from what I understand. It's just kind of like, oh crap. So this is from a macaw that's still alive. My friend Chris gave it to me. I actually have a couple of these, so I love them. They're great. But I don't always use the feathers. Sometimes it's just as simple as like while it's still lit, blowing the smoke in that direction. So that's what I do. But you want to go all along the room, and then you want to go to the window and seal it off. I won't tell you exactly what symbol I use because it's personal to me. But if you feel called to use a specific symbol that's for you, that's like your insignia or even your kind of sigil, do it. That is yours. That's your thing. And you would use it to seal off the window, and then you'll make sure that you leave the room, and you want to like go through every corner and even through like the closet. You want to open the closet doors to clear out the closet too, because this is where negative energy can hide. So, and then once you leave the room, you want to seal off the room itself. So you would go through the doorway and do whatever you feel called, whatever symbol you feel called to do. Clockwise is always a great thing for pulling in energy or pulling in negative energy. Counterclockwise is a good way to banish negative energy, which people seem to forget that counterclockwise banishes negative energy. So, but if you don't feel comfortable going counterclockwise, then don't go counterclockwise. Do it clockwise or do whatever it is that you feel called to do. Some people do like a heart insignia. Some people do like the six-sided star. Some people do a bunch of different things. But yeah, but when you are walking through the house and you are cleansing it, I normally suggest that you do it alone. Like make sure that there's nobody else in the house because they can distract you. Number one, they can distract you from cleansing. Number two, it's just their energy isn't matching the energy that you're putting out. So it can actually throw you off and throw off the whole energy of the house. So it's just best that you do it on your own. Unless somebody is there, then if they could do it with you, that would be more optimal. If they could go along with you and cleanse alongside, that's great because that'll amplify the positive energy that you're trying to use to push out the negative energy. So that's my suggestion. And don't forget to do the garage. If you have a garage, please don't forget to do the garage. A lot of people forget that it's an extension of the house. It's part of the house. The negative energy can actually hide out there if you've cleansed the whole house, but you haven't done the garage and you haven't sealed it off. Perfect place to hide. And that's what we had going on in our old house in Agency Oaks. So yeah, fun times. Not really. It was awful. So like, man, being a medium and then going into that garage, it sucked. And even Mandy can testify to how badly it sucked in that garage. So yeah, that's a thing. So those are a couple things that you can do with incense, Palo Santo, or sage. So, and then when you're done and you've gone from like one end of your home to the other end of your home, whatever size it is, then you can close all the doors once you feel like you've pushed the energy out. And when you seal off a room, you don't want to go back in the room for a little bit. You want to give it some time. And like once you've completely finished cleansing out the house is when you can go back through the rooms, but only after you've cleansed the house. Because if you seal off a room and then go back in it, that's letting the negative entity or negative energy go back in the room with you. So yeah, fun times. So that's a thing. Those are some common practices. Another thing that I would suggest for those of you that can't do sage burning because A, you have an allergy to it, or B, you have youngins around and they're too sensitive to the smoke, or C, that you're living in a house with other people and they can't stand it, that's a thing. Then that's fine. That's totally fine that you are living with people that can't handle sage or can't handle incense or can't handle Palo Santo. It's not for everybody. I would suggest selenite or a selenite wand. Selenite is not that expensive. It's actually relatively cheap. I mean, at least where I've been, it's not too expensive. Like this was like, I think $9 for this, which like it's a pretty decent size selenite wand. I guess some places they charge like $20 or $40 for this. Well, it's because they suck. But I've gotten this from Black Market Minerals. Or no. I got this from Vegas. That's right. There's a place in Vegas called the Rock Shop. If you ever get a chance to go there, dude, go. Like, it's an amazing place. If you're into rocks and crystals, go. They know their stuff. The staff is super friendly, and they have everything under the sun there. So yeah, go there. If not, there's this place called Black Market Minerals, and they actually do send stuff out to you. If you're not in Arizona or if you're not in Florida, you can actually go ahead and get a hold of them and they will mail stuff out to you. And I love it. The place that I used to go to was actually out in Tempe why can I never remember the name of this mall? It's not Tempe Marketplace. It's the other one. I'll think of it when I'm not trying too hard. It's off of Southern near Priest. Like there's the freeway, there's the 10, and then like on the other side of it, you'll see like fudge. Why can I not remember the name? Anyways, but there's a mall out there, and Black Market Minerals is located in there. And the person who runs the shop, actually knows her stuff, and they're very recently priced. So yeah, selenite's pretty cheap, and you can treat the selenite like you would. I don't know why I put it down. You can treat it like you would sage or whatnot, and you would just go from room to room to room, cleansing the area. And the great thing about selenite is that it doesn't retain negative energy. It can clear out negative energy. It can push negative energy away, but it doesn't retain it. So when you're done cleansing, you don't have to worry about, oh, it feels icky. You can recharge it because the energy will deplete over time, but you don't have to worry about negative energy being attracted to it. So selenite, great thing. I would suggest, if you want to go room to room to room, going ahead and doing that. And make sure that when you do cleanse, that my suggestion is to call on your guides and ask them for assistance and ask them for the highest and best outcome. That's always my favorite phrase, is highest and best outcome, because sometimes what you have in mind isn't the best for you, and they have something else that's going to work better for you. Yeah, but yeah, just I would suggest calling in your guides, asking to help assist with cleansing the area. And then when you're done, please say thank you to them. Like, acknowledge that they've worked with you and say thank you. So that would be one of the things that I would suggest. Another thing is aromatherapy. People are like, whatever about that, where they're like, oh, I don't know about that. I have used the frankincense. I bought this at Walmart, and I have used this with my burner, my warmer. Like, here's my little dragon, and there's a, sorry, I'm covering up its face because that's what you do. There's my little dragon, and there's like a little candle that goes in there, and I just put the oil in here and I let it burn, and it's frankincense and myrrh is normally what I do, because that's a good cleansing, clearing out of negative energy kind of scent. If there's any scents that you feel called to which make you feel better, use those. The only, and or if you have a diffuser, go ahead and use the diffuser. That's great. The only thing that I would advise against is ylang ylang or eucalyptus. If you have cats, please don't do that, because that is toxic to them. It's deadly to them. Or dogs. Don't burn that shit, or even use it in a diffuser, because it is deadly or toxic to them. Any sense that you're called to, if you do have animals, make sure that you research it, that it's okay to be in the air and that it won't have any adverse effects to them. That's always my advice to anybody. Like, if you're going to commit to doing something, make sure that it doesn't affect anybody else around you or anything around you in a negative way. So animals, because they're innocent, they don't know any better. So yeah, I've known about eucalyptus for a while, and I've known about ylang ylang. So I don't like what that does to animals. So yeah, it's pretty toxic. But yeah, if you like, if you know, some people are like, oh, I like mint. All right, cool. Then do mint. If you feel lavender works for you, do lavender. You know, if you feel called to berry scents, then cool. Just make sure that, again, it doesn't have any bad effects to children in the environment, animals, you know, or you. Incense, like I had stated earlier, incense is always an option. Some people are called to just use dragon's blood. Good on you, homie. Glad you like that earthy scent. I don't care for earthy scents, like, at all. It just bothers me. That's my hang up, though. So I normally burn, you know, stuff that smells like baked cookies. It smells like baked goods around our house constantly. It either smells like baked goods in our house, or it smells like Starburst. So, because I like berry scents and I like baked cookie scents, or sometimes something that's clean or with a light musk, but I do not like earthy scents. That's just, for me, I don't care for them. I can handle the frankincense and myrrh, but it's because I've worked up to it. Because before, it used to be like, oh God, it's so sticky. But I've gotten used to it now. I'm accustomed to it. Yeah, so those are a couple things. The other technique, oh, that's right. And the other one I was going to mention was pendulums. A pendulum? What? You can cleanse the environment with a pendulum? Yes, you can. And if you're comfortable with using a pendulum, you, again, would call in your guides and ask them to assist you in cleansing out the environment. And you can use the pendulum in a clockwise manner to cleanse the area. And you can, you know, once you're done and you've gone through like the entire area that you're living in, you want to say, okay, thank you so much. And you want to thank your guides for working with you, because you want to call them in first before you start doing the thing. And you want to thank your guides for working with you and say that you want to close off this and tell them thank you. Like, I always say, tell them thank you, because they need to know that they're appreciated. And I'm not rolling my eyes at that. It's just kind of, to me, it's common sense, but to other people, they're like, what? You, yeah. Like how you would thank somebody for working with you, for helping you out. Well, same thing with them. So yeah, you can do a pendulum and use it to clear out the environment and say that, you know, thank you for doing this and that I want to close down this, because pendulums can open portals if you're not careful, and specifying that you want to close it down keeps that from happening. The other option that I was going to go over was an Indian technique, like Indian from India technique. And if you're part of Summer Simply support group, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. She's done it where you actually get a glass bowl, and it has to be clear glass. Don't get acrylic or plastic, because glass, it's basically something to do with the I know what I'm talking about. I really do. I swear I know what I'm talking about. It's something to do with genetically, or no, it's with its why can I not talk today? My favorite color is Halloween, and I can't even talk today. What the fuck? Glass is it's technically a liquid, so that's why it's easier for negative energy to be absorbed. That's what it is. So like, yeah. So this is technically a liquid. I know it sounds weird because you're like, well, no, it's so solid. No, but it's technically a liquid, so that's why it's easier for negative energy to be absorbed into this. So you want to get a glass bowl, and this you can get from the Dollar Tree or the 99-cent only store. I think I got this from the Dollar Tree. $1. And then you want to use clean water. They sell like crystal water or crystal geyser water at the Dollar Tree or at the 99-cent only store. You can actually just get those giant jugs of them. I have poured them into my little glass things, and there is crystals at the bottom of every single one of these. I have crystal water. This is what I use because it has an extra oomph to it. And crystal water is super easy to make. You can actually look it up online if you're interested. This water right now is actually very masculine, because that's what I want to cleanse my house, is use masculine energy. So to make masculine energy water with crystal, you want to put pure water in here. I used quartz because quartz doesn't dissolve in water, and I stay away from anything ending in ITE because that doesn't go into water because it'll dissolve. Like selenite, malachite, anything like that, and mookaite, that'll dissolve in the water, and I don't want that to happen. So I use quartz in here, and I actually put this out in the morning, and I let it sit out there until about a little bit before noon, and then I bring it in because it's actually been charged by the sun energetically, and it's full of masculine energy. If I wanted it to be full of feminine energy, then I would put it out when the moon is becoming full or is full, and I'd leave it out for a couple hours, and then I would bring it in. As long as you bring it in before the sun comes up, then it's full of feminine energy. That's the moon. So it's really cool. But yeah, you want to have clean water into a clean bowl. It's a cup of water is what you want to put in there. So I'm going to do the measurements right in front of you. Hear that? And now it's officially a cup. I know. If I was smart, I would use like the 1 cup, but it's dirty. So it's in the dishwasher. So all I had was the 1/3 cup. But anyways, so this is now full of clean crystal water right now. And then you want to get some salt. Now, I normally recommend sea salt. Great thing about the Dollar Tree is they actually sell kosher salt, which is technically sea salt, and it's been blessed. Win-win. So I'm not Jewish, but that's fine with me. I still ended up using this. You take I do use a teaspoon. I don't use a tablespoon unless it's super bad. A tablespoon for both of these measurements, the salt and the pepper. But yeah, a teaspoon of salt, put it in there, and sometimes it'll dissolve right away. And this is room temperature water. So yeah, fun times. And then you're going to take a teaspoon of pepper. This you can get from the Dollar Tree as well. She normally recommends that you use fresh ground pepper because it's more potent. And I agree. There's a big difference in it being freshly ground. I've already gone through this. I actually ended up grinding all of this today into this little bowl because I wanted to be prepared, because I am going to be cleansing my house once I get off the live stream of doing this. And then you want to put it in the bowl. And there you go. And you'll notice that like it's starting to drift down like the pepper is starting to drift down to the bottom of the bowl. It's because it's cleansing right now. It's doing its job. When you see the pepper, like all the pepper's gone and it's no longer at the top of the bowl, that means that it's time to dump out the water. And when you do get rid of the water, I would suggest that you put it in a storm drain or dump it down the toilet, because it has to be put in an area where the water is going to be cleansed and changed immediately. I would not suggest your sink, because you could actually clog up your sink with the negative energy that it retains. If you look over there, there we go. You'll see that bowl right there. It's almost black. I did that about 20 minutes before I started this. So yeah, this room really needed to be cleansed very badly. So I'm going to take care of that as soon as I get done. Take care of that as soon as we get done here with the live streaming or with this video. And I did another bowl while I was waiting, and this one is going to have to be dumped out today. Like, it's already gross. When the water starts to get like murky like that, it's time to change. It's time to clean it. And I am going to go dump it down the toilet. There's a lot of negative energy. And there's also a portal that's open over there that I've been trying to close down. And it's going to take a couple more tries for me to get rid of it. So fun times, but not really. But yeah, when it gets like this, because you can see like most of the pepper has disappeared from this one. Like, it's almost all at the bottom now, as opposed to the newer one where the water isn't as murky and it's still at the top. Yeah. So when you do this, you don't want to like keep looking in on it and setting any intentions. Don't set any intentions when you do this. You just do it and walk away and go about your business, go about cleaning, go about doing whatever it is that you had to do for the rest of the day. And then you check on it, the next day or 3 days from then or 7 days from then. That's the longest you want to let it set, is 7 days, no more than that. And then, like I said, you want to dump the water down like in the toilet and flush it. And then, you can rinse out your bowl in the sink. That's fine. But just don't dump the water in your sink, because it's most likely going to clog up your drain with the negative energy. So those are a couple options that I went over. Man, I knew this room needed to be cleansed. Oh, and by the way, like, you can also get like a clear, even this would work. And this was from the Dollar Tree as well. You can see that like there's a whole stack of them right there. Sorry. Right there. I'm going to be cleansing the house. So I did this because I lived in a house with 4 people, and some of them were sensitive to sage. And also we had so many people coming in and out of our house because my husband would entertain people and we would game and all that stuff. And when we played board games, there'd be like 5 or 6 people at the house extra on top of the other 4 people. So it's like 10, 11, 12 people. And they'd be there for like 6 to 8 hours a day, sometimes 2 to 3 times a week. We would game. So it's a lot of energy coming in. And some of them would bring negative energy with them and they weren't aware of it. They would bring visitors to our house, and that wasn't cool. But I would leave these out, like one in the bathroom, one in the front room, one in my husband's office, because it was like those are the 3 heavily trafficked areas. And then, take care of it. And at first the guys were like, "What's this for?" And I'm like, "Ignore it." And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Just ignore it. It's something I'm doing. Don't touch it. Don't do anything with it. Just ignore it." They're like, "All right, cool." Because like those poor guys are like, "Oh, Janice is weird, but this is cool." Like they got used to me and my weirdness. So it was just, yeah, even my poor husband, I'm like, "Yeah, just ignore it. Do your thing. Don't touch it." And he's like, "All right." And that was that. So, but he would be aware when I would cleanse the house, because it's funny, like the next day or so, I could tell the rest of my roommates were in better moods. So it does work. I was in a better mood too, but the rest of my roommates were also in better moods. They weren't as like, so they weren't as slouched in. Like sometimes their shoulders would like hunch forward and all that stuff. So yeah. But yeah, this is a great technique to use, for people that want to use this as an alternate instead of like burning stuff. this is an option. So this has also been used to ward off the evil eye. So yeah, as an option. I'm going to be doing this for a while because clearly this house really needs to be cleansed. The area I'm in needs to be cleansed and just like it's due. And I'm trying to get rid of some, and I also did this. Yeah, this is another option too. When you're cutting cords, this is a great thing to do too, like to help remove that energy after you've cut cords or removed attachments or whatever. So, and it's no offense towards them. It's just there's a lot of energy there that needs to be cleared out and moved on. So yeah. Yeah, I hope this was helpful for you guys because I just went over like a bunch of different stuff for you. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and just, you can email me or you can comment below or you can always comment in the group. I'd love to hear anybody else's like suggestions on how that they cleanse energy. Oh, the other thing I was going to suggest was singing bowls. I knew I had it. Singing bowls is another option too. Completely forgot about that. If you like doing singing bowls and you like to do the water in it and how it feels and the vibration feels great, that's great. That's wonderful for you because when you're actually using the singing bowl, you're balancing your chakras. Well, if you do the singing bowl in different rooms, you're actually moving out energy. You're moving energy and you're actually purifying the energy in that room. So if singing bowls feel good to you, if you're called to that, do it, homie. That's wonderful. I normally play music when I do sage or incense or Palo Santo. There's like specific cleansing energy or music that I play. Like I love the way it feels and it feels good. So I use it for me and then that's how I clean out my house. So that's the other thing, or if it's a certain type of music that you like, that you love to listen to, whether it be Five Finger Death Punch or whatever the fuck it is, then do it. I shouldn't say fudge, but whatever. I shouldn't say the F word, but whatever you feel called to. If it's like classical music, good on you, homie. If it's rap, cool. Like, who am I to judge? But yeah, you do you, boo. But yeah, if anybody has any other questions, just go ahead and comment or you can post on the group. There's plenty of people in here who have gifts and who have other ways of doing things. And I would love to hear their experience or what they do. I hope you guys have a great week and thank you for your patience. Have a good one.